I'm so excited to share these images with you guys. This is something totally different for the channel. I'm in front of the camera this time, and I think this shoot goes to show that you don't need a studio or an expensive lighting kit to create really good results. There is heaps of cool stuff going on in this shoot in terms of lighting and ideas, so stick around if you would like to know how we created this lighting setup on a budget, just in our home without a studio. There will be some bonus black and white shots at the end taken with Leica glass. So we used to do heaps of shoots together where we would come up with like a concept or an idea or get inspired from a shoot that we had seen by a photographer like Ren Hang or Terry Richardson, and just have heaps of fun trying to recreate that. I would love to put on makeup and get like all my clothes out and just try and recreate this like on a budget or, you know, out on a location. And it's kind of stopped since we've had the baby as we don't have much time and it's a lot harder. New Year's Eve looked a little bit different for us this year. We stayed home, had some wine and dinner. My partner had some Portra 800 that he really wanted to try out. We had this cool idea for an experimental lighting type shoot, and keeping with the analog theme of the channel, we decided to use an old slide projector instead of like a digital projector that can be quite expensive. During the day, we got all prepared and I sat down to cut out some gels to pop into the slide mounts for the slide projector. And our plan was to use that in the lighting shoot and yeah, hopefully get some cool effects. We bought these gels quite a while back and haven't used them, but they were really useful in this scenario, as you could just cut them out and slot them into the slide mount like it was like a photo and then project it onto the wall. You can also use them in like your video lights, like I am behind me right now. So yeah, they're really cheap, so you don't have to worry about cutting them up. I think you get like 5 or 6 different colors. I will pop a link in the description below so that you can grab some if you want to try this out too. So we had records on and wine and we were just kind of having fun. I got ready and we decided to just get straight into it and see what we could come up with. We used 2 different cameras on this shoot. One was the Pentax Spotmatic with the 50mm 1.4 Super Takumar lens, which is one of our favorites, and also something completely different, the Nikon F65 with an 85mm 1.8 lens. So one is like a 60-year-old camera and the other one is a much newer camera with autofocus. So 2 very different cameras used here, and I think it'll be interesting to see the results. So if you've been watching the channel, you'll know I'm a huge movie fan and I love the movie Drive. I love the soundtrack. I have it on vinyl and we popped that on as I feel like that always just gets me in the mood. Oh, that sounds bad. Always gets me in the mood to shoot. It's a pink record and I got it out and I was holding it up against the light and noticed that it came like straight through, and I thought, wow, this would be really cool for a photo. So we went ahead and did that and I think they came out really cool. More on the slide projector soon, but first, next up in our lighting setup on a budget was this super cool sunset lamp. So it comes with a little remote and you can change all the colors. It's really cool. Some we used as like a wash on the photos, so like the whole photo would be one color, and then some we used like half and half, so it kind of created like this cool kind of gradient effect like over my face. Ooh. So this little sunset lamp was super cheap. I will link in the description below if you want to grab one. I think it could be used in like heaps of different ways. We've used it in the background for a few of our videos lately and I think it looks really nice and warm. It also comes with a little mini tripod that you can pop it on so you can kind of angle it and get like different like shapes and like shadows and stuff. And I think in this instance it worked really, really well. And for something so cheap, it totally transformed our living room into like a studio feel, and we just turned off all the lights and had like all these fun things going on, and yeah, it was just really cool. So comment below if you've used this sort of lighting before. If you have any tips or tricks or ideas, please share. I'd love to hear them. So New Year's Eve, you've got to have some sparklers. We lit them inside hoping our smoke alarm wouldn't go off, and we thought it would be cool to do some like long exposure stuff with it, and surprisingly they came out with the Spotmatic. My partner used like the self timer and had it on a tripod and I just like went crazy. We also did one on my Pentax Espio, which I will be doing a video on soon. It's like a cheap little point and shoot. We put it on a tripod, which was like really funny. Yeah, like that kind of came out kind of cool too. We also got this other really cool shot on the Espio as I was trying to use up the roll because it's like a test roll, and I hate to say it, but this is one of my favorites. I just love like flash on point and shoot and the way it looks. Like I'm just so in love with this photo. So obviously the F65 has autofocus as it's a newer camera, and the Spotmatic is all manual focus. And interestingly, my partner had like a higher hit rate of photos in focus on the Spotmatic, which would be a lot harder than autofocus, but maybe also goes to show that the autofocus on those early autofocus cameras isn't so good, but also maybe just that he's really comfortable with the Spotmatic. That's his go-to film camera. If you haven't seen my video on go-to film cameras, I'll put it up somewhere here so you can check it out. The next thing that we tried was this setup with a mirror and these fairy lights that you see behind me here. I think a mirror is another really useful thing to kind of like up your game. You've probably got one at home, or you can pick one up really cheap or like in a thrift store. We just popped it on the sofa and I sat in front of it and we had the fairy lights there. This is something that you see on Instagram quite a lot, like fairy lights and like the use of like mirrors and stuff. Whilst it's something that's used a lot, I think it's really effective and looks really cool. And some of these just came out really awesome. So back to the slide projector. We picked this one up really cheap on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm sure that you could find one as well, as people aren't really using them anymore. This is a Rolly brand one, so it's pretty nice. The guy that we bought it off said that he used to shoot a lot of slide film. He was projecting his photos onto the wall and then photographing them kind of like how you would using like a DSLR scanning system, which I thought was really interesting, and I've never heard of anyone doing that before. I've only shot slide film a few times, but I really love it and I do definitely want to shoot more of it. I have some really great shots that I'm going to put together in a video for you, and I was thinking it would be cool to project them onto the wall and share them that way rather than just like showing you the scans. So let me know if that's something you'd like to see down below. The next lot of photos, we used the slide projector, but we actually mounted a slide that my partner's dad took like way back in the day. I think it was like of a tree or something like that, and then it created this like cool pattern on the wall. It was a little bit tricky as you sort of had to like move it around and get it in the right spot and get everything to like land like properly. Some of them do look a little bit messy, but I think when it hit, it looks really, really good. This has got me thinking that I might shoot some slide film with this in mind. So taking photos that I can then project onto me and do another shoot like this. So it's kind of like a double exposure sort of thing where you're thinking like this would look really good overlapped like over my face or a part of my body or something like that. So yeah, it's just totally got our creative juices flowing, and I hope that it's inspiring you guys to set up some kind of lighting situation in your home. So we did also shoot a roll of Ilford 3200. There was just a couple of shots left over and I think they came out really nice as well. There's one of me holding the drive record. I'm gonna do a little bonus episode, kind of like a vlog, going through what we shot on that roll, which was a different location, and I'm gonna pop it on my Patreon. So if you guys wanna check that out, the link is in the description below. There's also a podcast episode, another vlog, and a bunch of other cool stuff on there too. I hope that this was helpful to you guys. If you are looking for lighting on a budget, I think these ideas are really good. We also scored a cool fog machine for like $25 the other day, and hoping to use that in my Blade Runner shoot where I recreate Rachel, the character. I know a lot of you shoot portraits and that's not something I do, so it's really nice to be able to share this other side of me on the channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. My last video got a really great response from the film community here on YouTube, and that is awesome. I've had quite a few people message me on Instagram saying that they missed the call out for what was your go-to film camera. I will be doing another one of those videos in that same style, so keep an eye out on Instagram for that one. It will be on my stories soon. But for those of you who don't have Instagram, because I know there are some of you, I will make a community post here on YouTube and I'll pop my email address in there so you can just email me through your answers and then I can feature you in the next video. Thank you for watching, guys. Smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe already and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. And comment below. I try my absolute hardest to get back to every single person that comments.